Hello and welcome to this week's show. This week all about Goosey Goosey Gander, because it's an interesting nursery rhyme. At least the analysis of it is by Chris Roberts in his book Heavy Words Thrown Lightly. So here we go for those of you who don't know it, or those of you who just want a good old nursery rhyme before you go to bed or something like that. So here we go. Goosey Goosey Gander, where do you wander? Upstairs and downstairs and in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man who wouldn't say his prayers. I took him by the left leg and threw him down the stairs. Well, apparently in his book by Chris Roberts, a goose was in fact a prostitute. And it's referring particularly to the prostitutes in London who congregated around the Southwark area, which is in the south of London. Apparently they go way back there to even Roman times. There were prostitutes there, and in the time of Henry II they were given royal protection. Henry II had a chain of brothels in Cherbourg, I believe, which I think is in France. Anyway, so Goosey Goosey Gander, where do you wander, is referring to venereal disease, right? Yeah, and I think goosebumps were particularly the swelling of caused by venereal disease. So Henry VIII closed the brothels, as at that time he was into dissolving the monasteries and everything, wasn't he? So it was really a clever ploy to take the land in that area which belonged to the Bishop of Winchester, right? It was seen as a bit of a moral crusade, but really it was just a rather crafty kind of snatch for land. So as he closed the brothels in that area, they moved to the theatres in the streets, I think in New Covent Gardens or somewhere. And so then we move on to, there I met an old man. Well, the old man is supposedly the Catholic religion, right? Who wouldn't say his prayers because they had then at that time published the New English Prayer Book that was published by the Church of England, written by Thomas Cranmer. So the Catholics refused to read it. I took him by the left leg. Well, left leg was a name apparently given to the Catholics at that time, who were, I don't know why exactly, but they were pretty horrendously suppressed by Henry VIII and Edward VI. And I took him by his left leg and threw him down the stairs. So there you go. Interesting enough also, it says that there was the only cemetery in Europe called for prostitutes exclusively, called the Crossbones Cemetery in Southwark, in that area. So there you go. It's all about prostitution and to do with the religious strife back in the time of Henry VIII. Well, there you go. Rather interesting, isn't it? What else did I want to talk about? Oh, that quote. Now, actually, I said that the quote I gave by Wiitgensteins was at the beginning of the Tractatus. In actual fact, it was, of course, the last sentence in the Tractatus, and it says, "What we cannot speak about, we must pass over in silence." Of course, it's the last thing that he says, because then, I mean, the book has supposedly got everything there, everyone will know about everything. And so then he finishes it with saying, whatever he doesn't mention, you have to keep your mouth shut about. Well, I think that's kind of true. I mean, he also says, the limits of my world are the limits of my language. Now, that being the case, it kind of, to me, what it means is that that which we cannot speak of exists in the abyss, the place whereby we cannot apprehend. cannot apprehend words. We cannot take a grasp of words in order to use them. So it's that which is beyond our world, and the abyss is certainly beyond our world, that's for sure. And I've been thinking about this whole thing of things that we cannot talk about, because there are, of course, things that we cannot talk about, and they come into existence through speaking. It is the act of speaking that allows us to speak of them. Before we speak about them, we cannot speak of them. So it is through the act of speaking, then, that we can speak of them. Now that sounds all rather tongue-twisty and philosophical, but I could give you an example. A couple of hours ago I went and brought this can, if you like, I don't know what I call it, tub of fish oil. Now it says on here $50.35, so you don't get to pick which price you want, but as it turns out I looked on it and it says, well, the same date for both prices. So I said to the shopkeeper, what's the story, how can you put the same two prices on the same day? Now the reason that I had a frank discussion with him about the $50 price tag is because it says so. If he had never have put that on there, I could not discuss it with him about the $50 implication. So the only reason that I could talk to him about it was because he had spoken of it in the way of a price tag. So there you go, that's something that never existed, but I could speak to the shopkeeper about it because he had spoken of it. So if he had never put that $50 price tag on there, I could not walk up to him and started talking to him about it, could I? So there you go, the act of speaking, even in the form of a price tag, is what allows us to speak, not the other way around. There you go, just a few things to get you thinking about some of my thoughts and some of the thoughts of a particularly clever man called Wiitgensteins, and Goosey Goosey Gander, a very interesting little poem, not poem, nursery rhyme. Blimey, that's getting on my tongue, isn't it? Poem and nursery rhyme. About prostitutes and two conflicting denominations of the Christian Church around the time of Henry VIII. I hope you've enjoyed the show. If anything, I just try and get you to think for yourself. Maybe. Thanks a lot. Please rate my show and comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll try and come up with something relatively interesting next week. And yeah, have a great week. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hello, back again, because I forgot to say, I hope you all a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful festive season altogether, really. And I hope you've had a fantastic year. I'm going to be back next week. As usual, perhaps I could mention something about the year or something, or the year ahead. But I hope you've had a great year, and I hope you're making some resolutions for next year. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you next week. Bye.